TV and YouTube golf lie to us. We see golfers flush shots and routinely roll in 10-footers, and we fool ourselves into believing it's what golf ought to look like. But for most of us, golf looks a lot more like this.
That wasn't too good. That's probably in the water. Oh, that was almost a shank. That wasn't it.
And I'd be doing you a disservice if I shied away from showing you rounds like this. Because as a 7 handicap, I don't get to break 80 every day. And instead of pretending that these rounds don't exist, today I'll show you what they really look like. And oddly enough, in this round, my driver was actually lethal all day long. So this isn't the department where I lost strokes.
Okay, so 201 in, playing 196, straight into wind. I think it's just going to be a smooth swing with the 200 club.
Nor was the issue today lapses in my mental game tee to green. This is a short par 5, and after 2 decent swings, I'll find myself pin high chipping for eagle.
I think this is the shortest par 5 in the city, maybe. Yeah, it's like 440 from the tips.
And spoiler alert, for a guy who's usually so tidy inside 100 yards, I lost serious strokes in this department today. On a straightforward chip like this, I should be able to get one inside 6 feet. And instead, I fail to get it even halfway to the hole. The birdie putt doesn't go, and while I'll never complain with a par, it's a missed opportunity on the most scoreable hole on the golf course.
Very easy hole.
And if your reaction to the first hole was that I didn't hit any truly awful shots, this one's for you.
That wasn't too good.
But against all odds,
Oh, what up?
Oh!
the golf gods actually bailed me out here.
To the left side of the fairway. Oh, like 100 in. Maybe 130. That was funny.
So let's see if I can take advantage of the good break.
That wasn't too good.
Yeah. This is one of 9 greens I missed in regulation today. But after hitting a good chip here, it also turns out to be the one and only time that I was able to get up and down for par.
You either hit it 220 straight or all you want as long as it moves left. Oh, not that far left though. 187. You gotta just punch it low up there and keep it left.
I managed to escape from jail again here on 3.
Thanks.
And having a birdie putt here is nothing less than a minor miracle. But now, an interlude about something I never thought I'd say. I reread my guru Bob Rotella recently, but one particular lesson from Rotella is one I'll abandon after this round. He claims that we should trust our first instinct when reading putts. I'm usually more of a methodical green reader, and today I experimented with shortening my routine and relying on my first instincts.
That was terrible.
Unfortunately to my peril.
Oh, I just hammered it.
All day long, I just didn't do a good enough job gauging the slopes of these greens, and it led to a whole lot of this.
That's very, very disappointing.
But one thing that hasn't been a disappointment for me lately is my driver. If you've watched the channel for long, you know how much I used to fight a hook, whereas today, it's not a stretch to say that driver is the most consistent club in my bag. And that's due in major part to connecting with a pro on Swing Tweaks and getting an individualized diagnosis to help with my miss. My pro pointed out aspects of my grip and setup that were setting me up to hit the ball left. And after literally years of trying to self-diagnose on the range and listen to my playing partners, I was able to mitigate my miss significantly after just one $30 lesson with Swing Tweaks. So while I'll never give unsolicited swing advice on the course, I unreservedly recommend Swing Tweaks to anybody trying to level up their game. There's no other way to say it. It's the best way you'll ever spend $30 on your golf game. And for those of you on the fence, get on this promo before the golf season is in full force and use the code EASYGAINS for 20% off your first lesson on Swing Tweaks. Here on stroke hole 3, my approach shot fails to crest a hill, and I'm left in a tricky lie in thick rough between a greenside bunker and the green. My only option is to chunk it out and get it rolling, and I'm actually pretty thrilled with the result here. It's about 4 or 5 feet left, and my first instinct is actually an underread of this break,
Oof.
and I'll have to settle for bogey.
187, 170 slope, but we're right into hitting a 5 hybrid.
It might seem obvious to say, but other than losing shots greenside, the majority of amateurs lose far too many strokes hitting balls OB and into hazards. And despite picking a conservative club here, some part of me just wasn't committed to the number, and the result is a weak push directly towards a water hazard.
That's probably in the water.
And suddenly, I'll find myself not trying to scramble for par,
That's in the water.
but rather for bogey.
So I just dropped on line with the water.
And this is another instance of not getting a proper gauge of the slopes here.
That was actually what I was trying to do, but just didn't quite release the way I thought it would.
I should have walked up to the green complex to see that despite what appeared to be a downhill chip, the green itself is perched upward. I didn't even take in that knowledge before hitting the bogey putt.
Oh, you gotta hit it. Good putt. It's good for double, boys.
And while the putt is good for the match, I've learned that some of you get upset if I don't knock them in for the video. So this one's for you.
Man, this hole's long.
On to stroke hole 1, a long par 5. But with the driver back in my hand, the confidence is running higher, and this is another good one. And part of what makes this hole so unrelenting is this shot. It's long, blind, and narrow. Not only that, but due to the length of the hole, I'm almost forced to hit a hybrid or fairway wood in order to have a decent number into the green. And fortunately,
Thanks.
I'm able to hit probably my best shot of the day here,
Yeah, that was good.
leaving me with the wedge in.
Okay, 98, downhill, downwind. Really only want to play this about 85 carry.
And this is a decision-making process I'm pretty proud of. I'm only taking a half swing from this downhill lie, so I know my ball will come out a little lower and release on the green. So I commit to playing it a good 15 yards short of the true number. And the reward is a makeable birdie putt. I don't quite get it to go, but a par on stroke hole 1 is just fine by me. Another uphill tee shot here, this time into wind, and even a great strike will leave me with a long approach shot.
So 196 and into, but it is downhill. So I'm gonna hit a 200 club right at the target.
And compared to the hybrid I hit on the par 3, there's just so much more commitment in this one. I make great contact with it,
That was hit very well.
and it's on to another look at birdie.
I think I need to, sometime in the next few weeks, spend some time on a practice green because I just don't feel confident right now that I'm like lining up to my line. I'm not even really seeing them like the way I normally do. Just outside left edge.
And you can hear me telling my friend Tom that my confidence with the flat stick has been low lately, which is actually why I reread Rotella last week. And on this one, I'm hyper-focused on the line without taking into account that this putt is steeply downhill.
Oh, wow, then I kept going. Wow, I've missed 2 putts inside 3 feet today.
It's another 3-putt and a frustrating bogey after a great approach.
Don't want to think about that ever again.
More indecisiveness with the 5 hybrid here. Last time I pushed it, and this time I took too much off of it.
Wow, that was short? Yeah, wow. I let off of a 5 hybrid a bit.
And this isn't my best effort out of the bunker either. But in reviewing this footage, I'm happy to see that I was staying in good spirits, and generally not letting one poor shot occupy my headspace over the next one. This is a good chip,
Thank you.
and I'll escape this hole with just a bogey. The 9th is another par 5 with a couple of elevation changes.
Whoa.
And this is an exceedingly rare miss for me. A pull with no draw on it, but thankfully it's in play.
Is it? We'll find out.
Another fairway wood here, and it's fine.
Little left, but okay up there.
But this shot was in my head before I hit it. My ball's right on the border of the fairway in the first cut. I'm worried about putting good contact on it, and lo and behold, I do this. And this shot's no easier. A 75-yard bunker shot that I'm trying to pick cleanly, and I fat it. But again, at least I'm not lamenting how my ball got here. I'm staring down a would-be double before hitting a great wedge shot here.
Thanks. All right, so let's not complicate this, Adam. Right edge.
And after a few putts missed from this range on the front 9, I'm happy to clean this one up for a 6.
Okay.
A good scorecard this is not, but like I said, single-digit handicap golf doesn't mean breaking 40 on every 9 or 80 every round. An uncharacteristically cold flat stick, a few shots with poor contact, and one ball in a hazard all have this one adding up to a 7 over 44. And if playing like this on a golf trip doesn't faze you, listen up. I've set up our first ever meetup for viewers of the channel at the end of May. Together, we'll enjoy 3 rounds of golf under the sunshine at the Western Home for Golf in America, PGA West. In addition to the golf, we'll enjoy great food, drink, and accommodation, and even do some clinics together. Full details are available at the link on screen and in the video description. There are only 10 spots remaining, and I hope to see you there.
Okay, this is probably not a driver hole, but because I'm confident in my ability to fade a driver right now, I'm gonna do it.
Like I said, my confidence with the driver is running high, and I do manage to thread a tight needle on this tee shot, and the approach is a narrow one too.
Okay, this was interesting. I was only trying to hit like a 220 cut. I still have 178 in, playing 173, but into. Just need to keep this on a good line.
This is another good one, leading to my 5th green in regulation so far, and a good look at birdie. I'll even get a look at Alex's putt before hitting mine. It's online, but... And we'll start the back nine with a par.
Thanks.
I actually chose the wrong tee club here. The pin is on the front of the green at 155. There's plenty of room behind it and water short. So while my 155 club is right on line,
Just barely got there, eh?
it just manages to cover the water, and I'm lucky to have a birdie putt. And once again, I'll go to school on Alex's putt. He leaves it short, and my poor putting continues today,
Oh, I didn't hit it either.
as I do the same. The boys have picked up on my putting woes and won't give me this one,
I'm waiting for someone to tell me this is good.
but I'm lucky to clean it up.
Okay, so it's 315, but water in play on the left, beginning at probably 240. Just hitting a 180 club, trying to keep it in play. Think that's okay. You definitely don't want to be that far left, I don't think.
Indeed, my strategic layup here leaves me an obstructed shot into the green. I'm rehearsing a low punch draw, and the golf gods are here to remind me that I'm not a scratch golfer.
Well, that wasn't it.
But like I said, I remained in good spirits after
Whoops.
bad shots today,
Okay, try that again.
and I'll go right back to work. This one's on the number and gets a bit of an unlucky kick onto the fringe here.
Stop! Whoa!
But after some poor putts today, I'm glad that the distance control is better on this one, which is more than I can say about the next hole.
Yep. Okay, Adam, hit a cut.
Which starts with another drive right on my intended line. I'll have just a gap wedge in, and I miss it a bit,
Oh, I pushed it. A little bit lie related.
so I'll have a long lag for birdie. And man,
Ooh, I hammered it.
this first instinct thing is not serving me well today, and I'll try to reset myself before the comebacker.
This putt, we're going to vocalize it, is moving this way. I don't have to give up the hole. It's downhill, right edge.
And though I miss it, I will try to evaluate it,
I hit my line there, right? Yeah. Just didn't move?
because it's important to take stock of whether a miss was due to a bad read or a miss hit. In this case, a bad read, and on to the next one.
Oh, that was almost a shank. Go!
I mentioned in the intro that this was an uncharacteristic day,
Shank and 8-iron, that's one way to go.
so strap in for the last 5 holes, where some things went off the rails,
Ah.
but some good shots were sprinkled into the mix too. But neither the tee shot on this hole nor this chip were among them. Fortunately, this putt from the fringe had decent enough distance control, and I'll escape this hole with a bogey.
All right, I'm going to hit this ball as hard as I can.
15 is another hole that favors a fade off the tee,
Thanks.
and playing uphill and into wind, this approach shot is no joke.
Okay, so we have 188, playing 196 slope and into wind. Going to hit my 200 club nice and solid if I can.
And despite the odd miss with the hybrids today, I've also hit some gems like this one.
Good shot.
Thanks. Okay, I'm like 3 rounds overdue to make a putt, so...
And I really wanted this one. For the first time in a while today, I feel confident in my read. It's uphill, and though it's moving a bit to my right, I decided not to give the hole away. And it works out.
Fine.
16 is the longest par 4 on the golf course, but it does play downhill,
That actually wasn't hit well at all. Good line, though.
and any miss that gets out there 250 and in the fairway is one I'm fine with.
Okay, so what is the line here, Adam? I think the line is at it, and if it draws, cool.
And more good luck on the second shot.
Oh, I chunked it. Go! Go!
I caught it a bit fat, but it does hop onto the green.
Big bounce! Nah, a little short. Oh, no, it got there.
But at this point of the round, the lag putts, typically my game's mainstay,
Did I juice that too?
are just not on the mark whatsoever. The first one's well past, and I fail to make the comebacker.
It's my 4th 3-putt today. That is not very good. This hole's playing long today. Longer than the number.
10 over through 16 isn't a total disaster, but sometimes, despite our best laid plans on course, things go off the rails. But at least I can say that it wasn't due to poor decision making today, as you'll see over the next shot.
Okay, so some notes about yardages. I have 116 here. A lot of people go, oh, hit a gap wedge 116. There's a lot of factors here. Uphill, now it's playing 122. Into wind, now it's playing 125. Uphill lie will also increase the loft on your club. So I'm hitting a 130 club here, and I'm going to try to get all of it from 116. Oh, I absolutely missed it. Almost missed the golf ball.
Indeed, execution was off a few too many times today, and now I'm left trying to scramble from a tough spot.
Oh no.
And after this putt, it's clear I need to spend far more time evaluating the slope on these greens.
Wow, this has been my worst day with the putter, I think, of my life, to be honest.
It's not often I putt a ball right off the green, and after all is said and done here, this one adds up to a double. Seymour closes with another long par 5 with elevation changes aplenty. It's a true 3-shotter, and fortunately once again, I'm able to string together a good drive followed by a well-struck 3-wood. My approach shot should be a comfortable wedge, but I decided to take some extra club to take the water out of play before hitting an absolute stinker.
That was so bad. So bad.
Another ball into a hazard, and suddenly I'm hoping to scramble for bogey. The pitch catches a bit of an unlucky break,
Wow, look where that ball's going to go.
and the bogey putt takes a few bounces up this hill, but close enough that I'm able to tap it in, sadly for back-to-back doubles to close out the round. And like I've said throughout the day, we're not always going to play to our potential. I always try to take these days in stride, honestly evaluate where I lost my strokes, and most of all, still enjoy a day on the course with my friends. I think it would behoove so many of us amateur golfers to find ways to enjoy these days, because realistically, many of our days on course will look a lot like this. I hope you enjoyed following along.